What's good, YouTube? I thought I'd jump on today and go over the Beast Mastery changes going into next season, 10.2 or Season 3. There's a lot of new changes going into this season. We basically got like a little mini rework. We got the new tier set that we'll go over as well. We'll go over how the damage fares and also some potential talent builds. So it's all exciting stuff, and let's get involved. So I thought it would make the most sense to start with the tier set. We'll go over that, and then that can also play into some talents later. But as you can see here, the two set we've got summons a Dire Beast whenever we use our main cooldown in Bestial Wrath. And this Dire Beast is going to last 15 seconds. Pairs up really nicely with some talents, but we'll go over that later. But more importantly, the 4 set is kind of bonkers. We've got Dire Beast now obey your kill command, and they also gain Beast Cleave. So whenever we multi-shot, we're going to get that Beast Cleave buff, which is going to make our pets do passive AoE. Our Dire Beasts are now being affected by that, but not only that, they are also getting affected by kill commands. That's our main spender, and that also cleaves through the Kill Cleave talent. So absolutely incredible tier set that we've got going into next season here. I'm super excited to see how this works, but I'll show you the talents that interacts with. We've got Kill Cleave here, so whenever we kill command while Beast Cleave is active, it's also going to do 80% of the damage to nearby targets. The damage is reduced to beyond 8 targets, but that's neither here nor there. It also affects Beast Cleave as well. This is just going to be some passive damage whenever we multi-shot that is going to make our pets cleave for the next 6 seconds. So in AoE, this is just a buff that we keep up at all times. So yeah, this tier set is looking very, very juicy. I'm super excited. It's also playing into some other talents that we'll talk about down the bottom. But for now, this is the build that I've been playing with the most. I have no idea, like I'll hold my hands up. I have no idea what is going to be the actual optimal build that we'll be ending up playing. This is focusing more towards Mythic Plus. I will go over a potential raid build as well, although I don't think too much of that is going to change. But yeah, the biggest changes you can see here, although it's the same icon, Aspect of the Wild is now gone and it's been replaced by Savagery, which is a passive talent that is going to make our kill command damage increase by 10%. And also make our barb shots last 2 seconds longer. I think that basically is meant to say Frenzy is now going to last 2 seconds longer, so a lot easier to keep that uptime. Unfortunately, with this build, we're not playing wild calls, so we're not getting those resets on the barb shot to make it easy just to keep up our 3 stacks and we can be a bit more aggressive. But this is a really nice quality of life change. There is some weird interactions with this talent because it's going to make your Frenzy last longer. It doesn't also make your Thrill of the Hunt last longer, so you would be refreshing your Frenzy anyway if you were running Thrill of the Hunt. But for this build, I'm not taking it. I don't know if I'm trolling by doing that. But we've also got a new talent in Master Handler. This is one of my favorite talents that they've added into this next season. So every time our barb shot deals damage, including the ticks of barb shot, obviously it's a bleed, that's going to reduce the cooldown of our kill command by 0.5 seconds. So in AoE, you're going to be wanting to spread out those barb shots. The best way I've found to do it is with a mouse over macro, and you literally just press your barb shot, move to another target, barb shot that. And the feedback on that for your kill command is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can literally see your kill command bar just going like that the whole time. It's mental. Then, the most fun talent that hopefully, I pray, we can actually experiment with next patch is Call of the Wild. They have reworked this talent a little bit. It's now a 2-minute cooldown. So when we have this cooldown active, it's going to summon 2 of our active pets for 20 seconds. I'm not convinced that these actually act as Dire Beasts. I don't believe they do. I think they are just your regular pets. And then during this time, during the cooldown, you will also summon a random pet every 4 seconds to assault your target for 6 seconds. Each time Call of the Wild summons a new pet, so every 4 seconds, the cooldown of your barb shot and kill command are reduced by 50%. So again, with the reduction on your kill command cooldown, it is literally mental. You just spam that button and it works for AoE, it works for single target. It's humongous damage, always on top of my damage at the overall of my keys. But yeah, it's just a super fun talent. It was heavily undertuned and I've wanted to play with this talent since the beginning of Dragonflight. I think this fits the theme of the Beast Mastery Hunter perfectly, and they should really lean into this, just summoning like a zoo of your pets just to attack the mobs, have them all kill cleaving. We don't get much visuals as Beast Mastery Hunter or Hunter in general, so having like 20 pets out at a time, all beast cleaving, just looks unreal. No one else has to see it to clutter their screen. It's not going to affect us because we're going to be about 40 yards away from the mobs, and it just looks insane. So I'm so glad that they've finally paid attention to this talent. I don't know if it is enough yet, because it is a strong cooldown, and we're doing damage outside of the cooldown as well, because we just do like strong, consistent damage regardless. but I would also like to be able to talent into these down here. I've played a bit with Bloody Frenzy, and the amount of stomp damage you get out of this burst window is ridiculous. It's about 20% of your damage, what I've found so far. And then this one is more of a single target build, where each time you kill command, your kill command target takes 3% increased damage from all of your pets, stacking up to 10 times. It's a little bit bugged on PTR at the moment, so I haven't tested too much with it, but sounds like a super strong cooldown, especially towards the ends of those Call of the Wild windows. So the other main things to note with this rework is now that Thrill of the Hunt is only a 2-point node. You're going to get 8% crit if you fully stack into this and fully stack up the buff. 1% less than it was before, but for the sake of 1 extra point, I think that is a W there. Also, the same sort of treatment happened with Die Command. This is now only a 2-point node, but we're still getting the same value that we did before, even when we were putting 3 points into it. So Kill Command is now giving us a 30% chance to summon a Dire Beast. Again, plays back into the tier set where our Dire Beasts, more of them are being summoned from our Bestial Wrath, but they're also now Kill Commanding, and they're also going to Beast Cleave, and, like I said, Kill Cleave at the same time. Now, this is where I don't know if this is a little bit of an oversight, or maybe this is why BM is doing such strong damage at the moment, but this talent right here is very slept on, I feel like. So, we got the base of it is the Dire Beast lasts an additional 2 seconds. I mean, that's huge in itself. But the Dire Beasts, are also dealing 60% increased damage. I'm unaware if this is actually affecting the kill commands, the Beast Cleave, and the Kill Cleave at the moment, or if it's just the melee damage. Because by the way, the melee damage, even at the end of an AoE Mythic Plus dungeon, melee damage is still like 10% of my overall damage. It's mental. So yeah, I don't know if that's intended to affect the kill commands and also the Beast Cleave, but I know that it's definitely the melee. If it does, obviously we kind of have to take this talent. 60% damage on basically our tier set is mental. And then this also feeds into, we're summoning more Dire Beasts, so every 5 Dire Beast summon is going to reset our kill command and also reduce the focus cost and cooldown of it by 50% for 8 seconds. So in these windows, along with the Call of the Wild windows, and you've got your Barb Shot dotting up everything, reducing the cooldown of your kill command even further, you are literally just spamming kill command over and over again with your Beast Cleave up. It's hitting all the targets in the area. It is just mental. I love this spec. This spec, I know people say a lot of the time BM is very boring, but they are finally getting it. They are finally understanding what this spec should be about. Summoning all the beasts and just getting them to just AoE cleave everything down. This spec is super, super fun. So, the other builds that I have tested and I've seen other people testing is they take a point out of Call of the Wild and they whack it into Wild Cool. This allows you to be much more aggressive with your Barb Shots because you are getting those resets. But, I mean, Call of the Wild is just a fun talent in general. I've also dabbled with, so we would take one out of Wild Cool, we'd go Call of the Wild, take these out. I guess maybe you could play this build and get the Dire Frenzy, depending, like I said, if that actually affects your tier set or not. But if you don't take these 2 points, which I think you probably would, you put them back into here. I'm no theory crafter, so I have no idea how valuable 8% crit actually is. Because we've got a lot of crit, we're getting more crit going into this tier, so maybe it's time that we can actually finally drop at least a point in this talent, I don't know, and put it in there. I'm not too sure. But from what I've tested so far, this build seems to be performing the best. This seems to be the build that a lot of people are running, or like I said, maybe the Wild Cool build. But I mean, this one is just so much more fun. We do need a rework on just the class talent tree in general. We need a buff that we bring to the raid group or the party, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I'm going to have another video coming out in the near future about like a full hunter rework for all the specs. We're also going to be doing this for all of the hunter specs as well. But for now, these minor changes that they didn't even report they were going to do is a massive, massive W. It's unfortunate that I do just want to note about Piercing Fangs. Like, this talent is way too strong and we have to spend way too many talents just to get down here. Like, the fact that Scent of Blood is 2 points to get 2 charges of Barb Shot whenever we Bestial Wrath is an absolute daylight robbery. It's mental. But like I said, I'll save that for later. I'll try not to run on now. So what I'll quickly do is I'll show you what this talent build kind of looks like. The damage we got on the left over here. This is only 4 targets. I'm not going to lust because I'm not going to waste time waiting for the debuff to fall off every time. This is what our gear's looking like. We're 452, so obviously I think we're going to be pushing like the 480s by the end of this season, maybe even 490s. We got this on use trinket right here, so this is going to be a massive amount of burst, and it's maybe overperforming a little bit at the moment. And then we've got the stat stick right here. But what we're going to do, I'm going to mess this up now, you watch, but we'll open up with a barb shot, we'll go into our bestial wrath. I'm not going to pot here, we'll barb shot another target, multi-shot, death chakram. Now we call it the wild, and now we just start spreading out those barb shots and spamming those kill commands. Going to keep on spreading out the barb shots. Like, you can just see how quickly that kill command is resetting. It is a joke. And we're not even near the end. I mean, we're coming up to the end of the Call of the Wild window now, but Call of the Wild is sort of like a rampy cooldown, because by the end, that's when you've got all the pets out. That's when you've probably got the most amount of pets out with your dire beasts as well that you've been summoning too. They're all kill commanding, they're all beast cleaving. Here we go, we've got the dire pack drop right here, so even more kill commands. It is actually mental. Like, you can see me just spamming kill command. It is an absolute joke, but that's 50 seconds. We'll go for a minute here and I'll show you the damage breakdown. I won't bother popping another bestial wrath because we are almost done here. There we go. Let's retract the pets. So this is what the breakdown looks like. We got a lot of beast cleave damage there, which is actually surprising me because obviously it's only 4 targets. But like I said, the dire beasts are now beast cleaving as well. Got a lot of kill cleave damage and a lot of kill command damage. I mean, 16% on 4 targets, all being funneled into one target. Like, we have some mega prio damage now because, again, those dire beasts are kill commanding our prio target. Like I said, around 10% melee damage. This will be from the dire beasts. Look at that. 6.6% is from the dire beasts right there. It is mental damage. BM's looking very strong at the moment. I know a lot of people have eyes on this spec at the moment, so hopefully we don't get nerfed. I don't think we're too broken to where we need to get absolutely gutted, but we've seen Blizzard's tendencies in the like previous expansions. So yeah, I'm not too hopeful that we're going to go in this strong, but regardless, like, this spec is just so fun at the moment. Call of the Wild is such a fun talent. I think even outside of Call of the Wild, like, if you don't even take this talent, Master Handler is maybe the biggest W that we've had going into this season. Just being able to, like, min-max a little bit on a spec that's been renowned to be quite an easy spec just feels so much better because you are getting rewarded for being a better player. And then also, I tried dire pack builds in season 1. Was it season 1? Yeah. Got flamed for it. But now we're finally probably able to take this talent, and it translates to AoE as well. Just being able to spam those kill commands with your beast cleave active, getting that kill cleave damage. You can see it here. 21%. Like, it's mental. So yeah, that is the damage breakdown of that. I don't know what other talents could we have a look at here. I'll show you quickly. So we'll take one out of dire pack. So we'll test this build out just to show. We'll show how much stomp damage you get by the end of it. Let's reset that meter right there and we'll go again. So we'll start with the barb shots. There we go, spread them out. Multi-shot, death chakram, Call of the Wild. Now we start spamming. Keep up the beast cleave. And then keep spamming the kill commands. Now you'll see the stomp damage by the end of this is actually ridiculous. It'll be about 20%, I imagine. Let's go into another bestial wrath here. Summon another dire beast through the tier set. But yeah, you can see the damage that this is putting out right now. Pretty disgusting. We'll go for another 30 seconds here just to be fair and match it up against the other build. Can't remember exactly what the other build fell flat on the minute. It was around 300k, I do believe, but you guys are welcome to check the VOD. We got a little mage here as well. We go for another 10 more seconds. I did Death Chakram, but I didn't go into the final Bestial Wrath on the other one. Keep up the frenzy. And then let's retract the pets right here. So, stop attacking, you little dire beast. There we go. Look at that stomp damage, 17%. Again, same sort of breakdown elsewhere. We got the beast cleave at the top, 30%. We got kill cleave at around 20. Stomp is normally a bit higher, but you're going to see that stomp scaling once it's a lot more targets. Like I said, we've only got 4 targets here. I can't really find any training dummies that have a lot more targets than that. Unfortunately, there's the Kyrian ones, but you do get the Kyrian buffs with that, as I've been informed. But I mean, again, look at that kill command damage into a prio target. And then you've got the melee damage as well, sitting around 7%, a little bit less that time. But I mean, it is just bonkers. So those are the two sort of main talent builds that I've seen people running. This is the general one, I would say, that people are floating towards, or maybe even Wild Cool. But I mean, Wild Cool is a bit more boring to play with, I can't lie. It's nice because you can play aggro with the barb shots, like I've said. But I mean, you have more than enough uptime with this new Savagery talent. Now, moving on to single target then, which definitely does confuse me because the whole tier set is based around Dire Beast, but I've seen a lot of the top hunters playing without it and seeming to play this build. So we're taking the usual suspects. We got Bloodshed. We're now taking Call of the Wild, which I guess is a potent single target cooldown as well. Then obviously we got the normal coming down into Dire Pack and also Piercing Fangs down the middle. So let's test this out on single target then. I'm just going to need to rejig my keybinds real quick. Okay, that's going to feel weird having Bloodshed on 3, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll open up here. We'll go 2 barb shots. Then we'll go Bloodshed. Then we'll pop Bestial Wrath, Blood Fury, another barb shot, Death Chakram. Now we're going to Call the Wild and literally just spam kill command. We're up to 200k single target here, over 200k. And the thing with BM is it just sustains. We're at 250 now. Okay, I've never actually tried this build before on single target, and it seems to be absolutely pumping its little socks off. And yeah, as we all know, BM is just very consistent. There's not too many highs and lows. We will definitely have more now that we may potentially be playing Call of the Wild, sorry. But we've got a short cooldown in Bloodshed. We've got a short cooldown in Bestial Wrath and also Death Chakram as well. So let's go for another minute here. It's looking like we're just sustaining 200k, which is absolutely bonkers. But we'll just keep spamming those kill commands, baby. That's what it is. And you'll see how much damage kill command is doing at the end of this. It is actually mental. So we'll pull our pets back here. Come on, pets. Behave yourselves. And let's have a look at that breakdown. Almost 50% kill command damage. But that is because we're getting those kill commands from all the Dire Beasts that we're spawning. As I just said, I am very unsure as to why we're not playing with Dire Beast and just having a guaranteed Dire Beast, but I guess we're just getting more than enough spawns from the Bestial Wrath, from the Dire command points. Okay, so we've reset that. We'll open up with 2 barb shots here. Then we'll go with a Bloodshed into Bestial Wrath. Pop the Racial as well. Then we're going to just spam kill command. Basically, we got the Dire Beasts out. We got all of them out. Let's see. There is a bit of variance with the BM openers because if we get a Dire Pack proc in the beginning, because it does carry over from combat, that can definitely skew it. Also, we've got this Trinket on at the moment. But, I mean, it definitely doesn't seem like we got the peak we had with the other build. But maybe this build is more consistent. Here we go. We got the Dire Pack proc here. Just spamming up the kill commands. Keep the Frenzy up. Go back into a Bestial Wrath. We'll go for another 20 seconds here. Spam the Cobra shots when we can, and then outside of that, it's just keeping up the kill commands, Dire Beasts, and also the barb shots. Simple spec, but it definitely is a little bit more intricate now. So yeah, this build is definitely doing less damage. You definitely want Call of the Wild on single target, it seems. But let's have a look at the breakdown anyway. Let's get the pets back. 44% that time, so I think that's even more kill command damage on that one. A little bit less on the melee, but I mean, yeah. That just shows you how potent Call of the Wild is on single target. So it does look like this would be the build for single target right here. Let's just lock that in so I can show you guys fully. Ignore like the Sentinel Owl and all that over here. But yeah, we're taking the Bloodshed. We got the Call of the Wild. We come down here. We get this massive impact from Dire Frenzy down here, as well as the Dire Pack, which is super fun when that does proc, especially in single target. So yeah, that is basically what BM is looking like for next season. Super, super good on AoE, super good on single target. We've always been pretty mid on like low cleave like that is over there, but with these cooldowns, it's just going to be some insane damage. We've got great damage outside of cooldowns anyway because of how frequent our like general cooldowns are up, but now we have the Call of the Wild 2-minute burst as well, which is just mental. So it's going to fill that nice little gap. It's good to have some burst windows for Mythic Plus specifically, but also for Raid as well. Like if you need to burn through a shield or something like that, it's definitely going to be good for those sorts of fights. But yeah, super excited for Beast Mastery Hunter going into next patch. I'll do the same sort of videos for marksmanship and also survival. I'm not as clued up on those, but we haven't had as many drastic changes going into next season. But yeah, if you guys did like this video, then drop a like down below. Subscribe to your boy while you're down there. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.